Jurgen, obviously today will be the first chance you get to have a look at Sadio. Just wondering about how he seems after that blow to the head he took during the tournament, and whether you had any thoughts of how that was dealt with.
I didn't speak to him. I mean, we texted, and I couldn't have more respect for what Sadio did. He's for sure now one of the biggest Senegal legends of all times, rightly so. The pressure on his shoulders was absolutely incredible. I have usually no problem with facing pressure, but when he walked to the penalty, I thought that's a really difficult moment in life, and he faced that, he mastered it, and got rightly so all the praise. Was the best player of the tournament. So incredible achievement for him, incredible achievement for Senegal, and that's why we just thought it's absolutely right to let them celebrate as long as they want. So it's not that they said, we all know Sadio doesn't drink a sip of alcohol, so it's not that he was running around through the city and didn't know where he wakes up. It's just it was a massive thing. I saw the pictures with the president of Senegal, the people in the streets, and these kind of things. It's a massive achievement. Makes it even more funny with what people made of my earlier comments this year. It was the big tournament we knew before, and it was for Sadio the biggest of his life. I can imagine that life so far. I want to make already finish that line, but it's absolutely insane. And for him as a person, 100%, he made a massive step. He was a great player, outstanding player, world-class player when he left here for the tournament, but he comes back as a leader on a different level, I have to say. Good for him, good for Senegal, important stuff coming up. But I was really impressed by the way he handled the situation there.
Thank you. We'll go to Richard Jolly, please. Next, we've got two more questions to come. So, Richard, the next question.
Hi, Jurgen. Just wanted to ask about James Milner and his contract. I think it's up in the summer. Have there been any talks? Do you want to keep him? Does he want to stay? What's the situation?
There are talks, but how always, we usually don't comment further on that. There's no reason for it. But yes, of course, I'm in talks. The club is in talks with Millie. We will see.
But I think you said before that you think he can play on till he's 40. Is that right? So you do see a future for him sort of somewhere anyway, because plenty of players retire at 36.
Oh yeah, there's no chance that Millie will retire next year. So no, he's desperate to play on, and I understand it, to be honest, because life after careers, when you stay healthy, but when you're lucky enough to stay healthy, then it's much longer than your career. So you should extend your career as long as you can, if you can play football. So better than other things. Millie will be fine after career as well, but he obviously loves what he's doing. He will play football next year, definitely.
Thank you.
We'll go to Simon Mullican. We'll finish with Joe Bernstein.
Hi, Jurgen. Going back to Sadio, normally a few years ago, we always thought players were at their peak at 26, 27, 28. He's 29. Can what he's achieved at the African Cup of Nations, can that help him improve even further, even at that age, become a better all-round player?
It's difficult on the level Sadio is already, but of course, and I don't know exactly when that was that we said 26, 27 was a peak or whatever. I'm not 100% sure, but let me say 1 or 2 years ago, the first 3 years, the Ballon d'Or, what was seen as the world's best players, apart from Mo Salah, who was slightly younger, they were all 34 and older. So Lewandowski, 88 or 89 born, so makes him 32, 33. Then Messi and Ronaldo, 34, 36, 37, whatever. I think Cristiano turned. So it's not about that. We have exceptional talents out there, and if you are lucky enough to get through a career without major injuries, you can play long. And who decides when is your peak? I wouldn't decide that, because I don't know exactly when that happens. We have now a really good example with Luis Diaz, who is not a kid anymore, but his career started pretty late for some reasons, because of the region where he's from, blah, 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 physicality, all these kind of things. As I said, a late bloomer. So when you see him, he's a He's not the biggest player, so probably he can go for a long time, and these kind of things. So they're all different, but there's no peak mid-20s or whatever. The massive advantage of early 30s, mid-30-year-old players, he sees the things in the right way. If he learned of his career, and then he can use that, and then he can still use that, and then he can be an even better player than he was 2-3 years before. So that's the plan with all of them. There's no age roof. I would say so. Beyond that, we don't do it. For clubs, it's different. Clubs think they won't sign a 33-year-old player, maybe because they think we cannot sell him anymore, or these kind of things. But if the player's already in, it's outstanding to have them around because they have experience, and if they have desire, then they have quality.
You mentioned Ballon d'Or winners there, Jurgen. Can winning this tournament propel Sadio to that level? You know, should we now think of him as a potential Ballon d'Or winner?
I have no idea. I think that depends a lot to the season. We play and he plays, so that's how it is. Because usually you have to win the Champions League or be around and show up in the Champions League. That's how how this works. I don't know exactly. Just constantly forget who votes for what, but yeah, his potential will not hold him back. Definitely not.
Those journalists, I think, so it's their fault. Not that Simon gets about.
You have to vote him then.
Exactly.
If you want him there.
Joe Bernstein to finish this part of the press conference.
Thank you. Jurgen, you and Sean Dyche are the two longest serving managers in the Premier League. Sean has been at Burnley 9 years. You've been at Liverpool 6 years. Are you surprised that, and you've both been successful, despite maybe stuttering starts, or you didn't win a trophy to begin with? Sean has been relegated, but the club stuck with you. They're getting their rewards. Are you surprised that other clubs don't try this a little bit more? You know, because it seems the first sign of trouble, the manager's out.
I think clubs, apart from Watford, try it at least. All the other clubs want that. Each club want that. Each club want a long-term solution, I'm pretty sure. So I cannot really, you have to ask our owners why they think I'm the right one, even after that long time. But with Sean, I can see it from outside at least. So I don't think, and I mean it honestly, I don't think any other manager could have achieved what Sean achieved at Burnley. That's the truth. So bring them up. I was not here when they were relegated and came back. I was not in England, so didn't know that. Since I'm here, Burnley is Premier League. So if you ask me, Burnley was always Premier League, and it was one of the 2-3 places in the league where you think, I'm not really looking forward to it. So especially not in the beginning, that you play the first time, you think, oh my God, and you get more experience, you learn more about it, stuff like this. You realize the battles around on the touchline and stuff like this is part of the deal, all these kind of things. But my respect couldn't be bigger. I have to say, it's really like that. I don't think anybody else could have done it, because the resources they have are, in comparison with other countries, really, really good. But in comparison with other Premier League clubs, obviously not that good. And then staying that stable in the Premier League is a massive achievement, I have to say. It's as big as winning the league with other clubs, and for sure. And yeah, all my respect.